Welcome to the Man of Recaps. This is the Umbrella Academy, Season 3. At the end of Season 2, our dysfunctional super siblings stopped the apocalypse in the 1960s and made it back to the present day. But this present is not the one they remember because their father, Sir Reginald Hargreaves, is still alive. When he met them in the past last season, he was so disappointed with how they turned out, he adopted a totally different group of super kids and named them the Sparrow Academy. One of the Sparrows is the same though. Yes, it's Ben, who as an umbrella died as a kid and was a ghost for Seasons 1 and 2. It's not a happy reunion though. This Ben is a massive dick. Instead of talking things out reasonably, the Sparrows and Umbrellas are about to fight. But turns out they're not so different because they have a dance fight. It's an awesome, hilarious opening scene as both groups have one of their classic awkward sibling dance parties. That was just for fun though, it was all in their heads. One of the Sparrows' powers is hallucinogenic spit. In real life they have an actual fight and the Umbrellas get their butts kicked. They retreat to the Hotel Obsidian, a quirky vintage hotel that becomes their home base this season. Their time travel expert, number 5, who remember is a middle-aged man stuck in his teenage body. He's like, well, their lives are all different in this timeline, but most of them didn't have great lives anyway. But they did successfully prevent the apocalypse, so seems like they're in the clear. But of course they're not, because in the basement of the Sparrow Academy, a crazy ball of energy arrives that's deleting the whole universe. With their leader, number 1, mysteriously vanished, the Sparrows assume Luther did it, but to make him talk, they're nice to him, try to honeypot him with this one Sloane, and Luther is instantly smitten. But turns out Sloane really likes him too, and these two immediately fall in love. None of Luther's siblings even noticed he was missing. Per usual, they were busy with their own stuff. First off, Vanya has a big change, mirroring Ellen Page's real-life transition to male as Elliot. Vanya's like, hey, I'm Victor now, and the show does a good job of not making a big deal out of it. Earlier I said that most of them don't have good lives to go back to, but Allison does. Remember, she has a daughter. Unfortunately, in this timeline she doesn't. The life she knew is gone, and Allison falls into a deep depression. Diego is found by his girlfriend Lila, and she has a surprise for him. Turns out he does have a kid. With time travel, it's been 10 years for her. She's like, your turn to watch our son. Mama needs a vacation. So Diego spends this season learning how to be a father. Klaus wants to find his birth mother, but unfortunately she's dead. In fact, she died before she gave birth to Klaus, which is very bad. This is what's known as the grandfather paradox. Say you go back in time and kill your grandfather, then you are never born. But if you're never born, how can you go back in time and kill your grandfather? It makes this timeline impossible, which creates the Kugelblitz that will collapse the entire universe. They can't just go back and fix it. Time travel briefcases stop working. Five and Lila use their powers to jump to the Time Travel Commission, but it has collapsed too. They go to the emergency bunker where they meet the mysterious founder, who turns out is Five's future self. Five discovers he loses an arm and gets a weird chest tattoo, but his future self has no good advice. All he says is don't save the world. Meanwhile, the Umbrellas and the Sparrows keep having trouble getting along. The Sparrow Academy finally comes to finish things, gonna kill the Umbrellas for good. But now what's this? A random old man blasts the Sparrows, fully killing 2 of them. Victor figures out who this guy is. It's last season's girlfriend's son, who he accidentally transferred his powers to. But Harlan could never control his powers, and about 30-ish years ago, lost control in a major way. He somehow connected with the unborn Umbrellas and accidentally killed their mothers. As revenge for their fallen siblings, the Sparrows want to kill Harlan, but Victor doesn't want to give him up. Instead, he tries to take his powers back, and long story short, succeeds. But Allison's been having a real rough time. She blames Harlan for this messed up timeline and kills him, delivers him to the Sparrows. This sets off a huge fight with Victor, and Allison does not apologize. These two fully hate each other for the rest of the season. The good news is the Umbrellas and Sparrows can finally work together to stop this Kugelblitz and save the world. And it looks like they succeed. Congrats everyone, job well done. But of course it's not going to be that easy, and now it looks like the end of the world. Now who shows up but their father, Sir Reginald Hargreaves, who knows exactly how to save the world. But Five tells the old man off. Earlier he researched his weird tattoo, which led him to Pogo, their genetically enhanced chimpanzee butler. He had a huge falling out with Sir Reginald when he learned this mission would get all of the kids killed. So Five trusts his future self, decides they need to not save the world, so they all resolve to accept the end and enjoy whatever time they have left. Diego had actually become a good father, and he and Lila rekindle their romance. But now Lila admits she was pranking him. That's not their son, this was a test. But she really is pregnant though, so roller coaster for Diego. With the end of the world imminent, Luther and Sloane fast-track their relationship. They get married, and it's a wonderful, final, awkward sibling dance party. Klaus has a good heart-to-heart with Ben and convinces him to not be such an asshole. Sir Reginald tries to make amends, and the next morning gives Luther a big hug. But even now he's manipulating him. He stabs Luther with his tentacle. Yeah, remember, he's an alien? Luther's death brings all the siblings to this White Buffalo room, where now that the end is here, Sir Reginald convinces them to go through the secret doorway. All of them except for Klaus, who earlier he had bonded with, but now betrays him too. Earlier, Klaus randomly died and wakes up back in the afterlife. Klaus has been here before. He almost dies every season, but now he realizes all those times he almost died. Turns out he actually died. Part of his powers he didn't realize. He comes back to life. So Klaus went to see his dad, who was all too happy to help him learn to master this new power. So now Klaus leaps onto the buffalo to kill himself and escape to the relative safety of the afterlife. Now that secret doorway was a portal to a weird mirror version of the hotel called the Hotel Oblivion. And we learn that Sir Reginald found this portal many years ago. In fact, he built this hotel to get to it. He explains vaguely that this place is a universal control room where in case of emergency like this, they can reset the universe. It is guarded by samurai monsters, and so our crew have a fight. Now they all step on one of the runes, which unlocks this control room, and Sir Reginald gets to work, apparently rebooting the universe. Turns out this machine is powered by whatever gave the super kids their powers. That's why Sir Reginald adopted them in the first place. This was his plan all along. Earlier, he made a secret deal with Allison. She helped him lead all her siblings here, but now she realizes using this machine is killing them, and so she makes the final decision. She kills Sir Reginald to save her siblings. But whatever he did, it seems he finished. There's only one big button to press, and when life gives you a big red button, you know you gotta push it. And it seems like it worked. The universe is here again. As a trade-off, all of their superpowers are gone. It seems like the machine sucked them up. Klaus and Luther are both alive, and Luther's not half-ape anymore. But his new wife Sloane is not here. Luther runs off to find her. Allison woke up back at her house, and this time her daughter is here. But it's not her ex-husband living here. It is Ray, her husband from the 60s that she loved. It seems like her deal with Sir Reginald was to give her her perfect dream life. And it seems like Sir Reginald set things to be his own perfect universe, because we zoom out and see that the Hargreaves Corp owns everything. The biggest thing he did was resurrect his dead wife, and not the human woman who was the inspiration for the kid's robot mom, but his original alien wife, who we only ever saw in that one short flashback. And that's where The Umbrella Academy Season 3 comes to an end. If you liked this recap, hit that subscribe button for more of the best recaps of TV and movies.